Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, July the 29th, International Tiger Day, or is it Tigger Day? Is Tigger spelled
Tigger's
T-I-G-R?
two G's.
Oh, okay, then it's International Tiger Day. But Tigger is a tiger, so I'm okay with that. National Lipstick Day, National Chicken Wing Day, and National Lasagna Day. I love lasagna.
Do you?
I do. We hardly ever have it, but when we do, I love it. Sunday, the 30th of July, World Day Against Trafficking Persons, which, by the way, should be every day. Don't do that. It's terrible. International Day of Friendship, National Whistleblower Day, National Father-in-Law Day. I am not a father-in-law yet, but maybe someday.
We're hoping.
Yeah, and National Cheesecake Day. All of those things happening this weekend. And I am so excited to visit with Kelsi Sheren. She's the author of Brass and Unity. She's a veteran, and she has an amazing book talking about her experience and experience of others. Going to be chatting with her all about that coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. I've got a statistical look at who we are and the things we do. 20% of us say we're going to cancel a streaming service to save money this summer.
Okay.
So I would do that, but we've already done that.
we don't have much.
No, we've kind of trimmed it down because we don't watch TV.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer. We're so busy with other things.
Which explains why we never know what we're talking about when it
some people are like,
comes to TV shows.
You haven't seen that? I'm like, well, how would I have seen it? I don't watch any of that. 47% of adults lie to their doctor about how much they drink. It's like, what do you have, like 8 drinks a year?
Week.
47%. Oh, that's one I just read. 8% of people never get a cold. 8% never get a cold.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. 5% of adults say they are terrified of escalators. I don't know that I'm terrified, but I'm not a fan. Because I saw a show where they like collapsed and people were falling into it. I was like, ew, that's not a good thing to watch ever. And finally, 99% of women say they don't want their partner to wear a Speedo this summer. Are you part of that, Heidi?
Yes.
That would be terrible. Terrible. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know after decades of ridicule from some, one of fashion's most divisive garments, the men's swimming brief, is making a return? Some would argue they never went away. Beaches and pools in Europe and Brazil have long been a safe space for fans of the Speedo style. But sales stats show that the budgie smugglers, that's what they call them in some places, are back. The Speedo, the original makers of the skimpy swimwear, say the sales are up over 200%.
I cannot even imagine this.
Anyway, sales are up 55% in the United States. Some observers credit renewed interest in the look to the ongoing prevalence of the ironic style. So people who wear this because it's ironic, things like Crocs. Hey, what? Mullets or sandals and socks. I don't have a mullet, but I have Crocs.
Yes, you do.
I think they're really comfy. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Writer, director Richard Curtis, known for the iconic British romance comedies Love Actually, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill. His next venture is called Christmas Actually, a stage show encompassing live music, poetry, and comedy to serve as a fundraiser for comic relief charity. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
He said it's not a sequel to Love Actually.
Oh, okay.
He just put that title together because, it's similar to...
A little bit of name recognition.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
get people to come to his show.
In the wake of the writers and actors strike, CBS changed their fall lineup. Paramount Network hit drama Yellowstone will now make its network debut on Sundays, starting from season 1, because they already own that.
Okay.
So now you'll be able to watch that on just regular CBS. Paramount Plus SEAL Team and FBI True will also be coming over to CBS. See, that's the cool thing about them having streaming-only shows. When there's stuff, they're like, we're just going to use this. We already own this.
Right.
Specific dates for programming is going to be announced later, but they're like, hey, we got this covered. All right. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. According to a report, those who are divorced are about 25% more likely to die early than those who are married.
Oh, that's
So
sad.
that is very sad. So not only are they divorced, but now they're going
But
to
see,
die earlier
now
as well,
you
too.
better stay with me.
Oh, I'm gonna. You know what? I consider myself a very blessed individual. We've been married 23 years, and most of those happy. And no, I would say pretty much all of them. Here's the thing. I really think that we've got a fun relationship. And we constantly have to remind people on the radio, oh, by the way, she's my wife. Because, a lot of people who do this, like where they're working together, they're not married. They're just coworkers.
Right.
And again, it's very unique to have a husband and wife on the radio together. And here's the thing that's interesting. Heidi was never on the radio before. No. So when we first met, I was on the radio. She was not. And then all of a sudden we do this radio show together. And I can tell you I've regretted it some days. So it's like,
You have not.
It's a terrible idea. No, it's been fun. Okay. Hey, maybe your dad or your granddad worked in the same field or even the same job for their entire career. Well, that is not the usual case these days. According to a new survey, the average worker is most likely to change their career direction by the time they're 31. According to the poll of 5,000 employees, 26% are considering a career change in the not too distant future. 26%, that's a quarter of them.
Yeah.
44% have already made the leap to something new. Why the restless feet? Well, 1 in 3 said they made a change because they wanted to pursue a career that offered the chance to make more money.
Well, that's really
Yeah.
important, and you have to be flexible enough to be able to do that.
32% were looking for work they felt more passionate about. 19% said the key motivation for them was a better work-life balance. For those who have changed or are considering a career move, healthcare, education, and IT
Yeah.
are the most popular industries that workers are considering moving into. I've got that whole story, by the way, if you're maybe somebody who's trying to employ people. If you want to read all those details to make sure you're doing everything right to find them, I've got the
Or
notes
keep
there.
them.
Yeah, that's good too. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at insurancechicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at insurancechicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to insurancechicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at insurancechicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit right now with ex-combat veteran and artillery gunner Kelsi Sheren. She's also the author of Brass and Unity, One Woman's Journey Through the Hell of Afghanistan and Back. Kelsi, first of all, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you so much for that, and thanks for having me.
Well, excited to visit with you about this book. Tell me a little bit about Brass and Unity and what led up to writing this book.
Yeah, so after I served overseas, like so many of us, I came home with a psychological injury called post-traumatic stress disorder and an undiagnosed traumatic brain injury. And through art therapy and journaling and getting those thoughts out of my mind, I was able to then sit down and just write out everything I was feeling and everything I was going through. And that spun off into a book. After 5 years of putting this thing together, we're finally able to release it yesterday, and we're hoping that people will use it as a tool to understand other veterans and understand what we go through through. This book is for veterans, but it's also for civilians, especially with people who have trauma who don't quite understand how to move forward.
Even people who've never gone through any of this can probably read this and learn from this, can't they?
Honest to God, I really believe so. I believe that in my heart of hearts. I put so much effort into this book to show others that there are trauma is trauma. And my cup may be a full-size cup and yours may be a shot glass or vice versa, but we all handle what we can handle. And it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you anything. It just means that you need to get some help. It means that you need some support and you need some extra love right now. And I'm hopeful that within this book, people will see that it doesn't matter if it's PTSD, anxiety, depression, any of these things. Trauma can happen for you and not to you, but it's the perspective. And right now, if you are struggling, I'm telling you right now, you will learn something from this book. And if you don't learn from it, then use it as a coaster, use it as something, give it to someone you love. But I promise you there's something in this book for absolutely everyone.
And there are some people who go through situations similar to what you've gone through, and then they, have that, I'm doing air quotes here, that tough guy mentality where they go, oh, I don't need any help, and I don't need to talk to anybody. But sadly, that pressure builds up, and it can be disastrous. So instead of letting that pressure build up by talking to somebody, by maybe reading this book and learning that, hey, I'm not the only one that's been through these things, it can be a very a good experience for that person. It could be something that could literally save their life.
I would agree. I think that most of the time people think that to be strong, you have to just bottle everything up. Some of the strongest people I know in my life, some of these SEALs, some of these Rangers, some of these JTF2 guys, some of these firefighters, police officers, the strongest people on the face of this planet are the people that ask for help. The people that reach out and say, I can't bear this burden anymore on my own. I need someone to help me. Those are the courageous people. And if you can do that, and even if you're not ready to fully do it, start writing it down, but get it off of your brain, get it off of your chest, and put it somewhere. Because I promise you, that is not always your burden to bear. There are other people that want to see you thrive and heal and get better, but you are not alone. I can assure you that.
If somebody listening is maybe going through some of this stuff and they're going, this really appeals to me, where can they find a copy of Brass and Unity? Where can they find this book?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find it at brassandunity.com. We'll send you to Amazon. But if you are local or you like to shop at Barnes & Noble or Indigo or wherever, you can grab it there. But the one thing I would say, not just the book, if you are struggling and you need help and you don't know where to go or what resources to get, please DM Brass and Unity or shoot us an email. We will do our very best to connect you with the right people. And just know that there is a community out there that wants to see you heal and that you matter and that you do not need to commit suicide. We are here to help you and that you are not alone. So please stay with us.
I love that. It's not about selling books. It's about helping people, isn't it?
That's it. That's all I ever wanted to do. I just want to see my people stay alive because the suicide rate is climbing astronomically fast and we need to step in and we need to reach out and put a hand so that people know that they can do this, because ultimately, when you die by suicide, you're leaving a wife or a husband or children to bear that burden, and you don't need to do that. You deserve to be alive. You served your country. Whatever it is that you've done, you deserve to stay with us.
Absolutely. And in addition to family, a circle of friends that are going to miss you dearly as well. So that is never, ever, ever the answer.
That's right. And I can't agree with you more. So please, I mean this at the bottom of my heart. Please reach out. This does not have to be the end. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It may take a decade. It could take longer. But if you keep fighting, everyone else will keep fighting for you.
Kelsi, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to have this conversation and to be heard. So thank you.
Absolutely. Again, Kelsi Sheren is the author of Brass and Unity, One Woman's Journey Through the Hell of Afghanistan and Back. It's available now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Speed dating was invented by a rabbi. That's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Wild birds in Australia have been hearing swearing, and they've learned the words from escaped pets. So there's wild birds now that are swearing in Australia.
Okay.
I think that's kind of weird. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the original 1902 stage version of The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy did not even have a dog named Toto, but instead she had a faithful cow named Imogen.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to fit that in the basket on the bike.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The can opener was not invented until 50 years after the invention of canned
I
food.
remember hearing this.
So how did they get all this stuff?
That is
They pound it open with a
hilarious.
rock?
Yeah.
And then our final fun fact for
What's
you,
that,
Heidi.
John?
The lifespan of a regular rock star is 25 years shorter than the average person. So 25
I believe that.
Yeah, except for the Rolling Stones somehow.
Yeah.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 45% of us agree we do this healthy thing more often in the summer. What is it?
Eat vegetables?
No, take vitamins and supplements.
Oh.
Yeah, because like you go to the pool and you're like, yeah, I should probably work on my six-pack. I'm going to take a pill for that or something. All right. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. It has come out that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were reportedly denied a seat on Air Force One after Queen Elizabeth's death. So here's the thing that's weird. Why would they have just expected that they should have had a seat there?
Right.
According to a report, the couple attempted to hitch a ride back to the U.S. after the Queen's funeral. The request was a non-starter. The White House denied the request immediately. They say the request would have strained relations with the palace and the new king. President and First Lady were transported to and from the funeral on Air Force One. I can't even imagine somebody just going, hey, can we hitch a ride
Care
back?
if I just jump on with you
I
on
don't
Air
understand
Force
that.
One?
And now they're feeling slighted because of that.
Whatever. Who do you think you are?
You know who else didn't get a ride back? Everyone else.
Everybody
Nobody
else.
I just don't understand at all why they thought they should have. Like,
That is insane.
Just don't understand why we couldn't get a ride on Air Force One. Okay, you guys are doing pretty well. Why don't you just, I don't know, buy a ticket? Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. This is the fifth part and final part of this list. Things that people think are the same, but they're not. Mint and peppermint. While all peppermint is mint, not all mint is peppermint. There are dozens of different types of mint, including peppermint. It's a crossbreed of water mint and spearmint, popular for its medicinal uses.
Okay.
So, but there's other kind of mint as well. Concrete and cement. I just had this discussion with a guy who helped us pour concrete.
And you have explained
cement
this to me repeatedly, and I can never remember.
Yeah, cement is a binder that sets and hardens and adheres to other materials to bind them together. It's actually an ingredient of concrete. Concrete is a mixture of sand and gravel and crushed stone mixed with water and Portland cement. So then
I can never remember that.
All right. Well, it's okay. And our final thing on here, things that people thought were the same, but they're not. CV and resume. A resume is a one-page summary of your skills and experience. A CV is commonly used for academic or scientific positions, require detailed listings of your academic background and accomplishments. So it's a whole lot more. I wonder what that CV stands for.
I have no. I don't have any idea what CV is.
Well, now you know because I just told you.
It's been a long time though since we've had to apply for jobs. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to stay here. We really like it here.
After this weekend, the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Quote for you, Heidi. Doug Larson said, "The cat could very well be a man's best friend, but would never stoop to admitting it." Oh, that's funny stuff right there. What was that? Oh, yeah, your quote of the day. It comes... I got lost.
It's the weekend.
Yeah, I was busy thinking about the quote. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. I think it's really cool, great, amazing, fun, awesome news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Listen to this. She saved a man's life. 6 years later, she saved his daughter's life. This lady is pretty freaking awesome. In an awe-inspiring sequence of events spanning over 6 years, a remarkable woman emerged as the guardian angel for one family, rescuing a man from a life-threatening situation and later saving his daughter's life. 6 years ago, Christy Hadfield was a paramedic who saved John Cunningham's life when he was having a heart attack. He went into cardiac arrest. I remember being in the back of the ambulance, and I was like, "Not today, John, not today." She performed chest compressions until he got to the hospital. Fortunately, they were able to get him back. Hatfield stayed in touch with Cunningham through social media, and they often do that with patients. She said that she stays in touch with many of them. She also became Facebook friends with his daughter, Molly, after Molly Jones, sent her a friend request. 6 years later, July 7th, 2022, Jones shared a Facebook post that she was officially on a kidney transplant list. She was very ill with advanced kidney disease. Although she found it hard to ask for help, she went on social media saying, "Hey, is anybody maybe interested in donating a kidney?" Says, when I posted it, all of a sudden I got this message from Christy. And she messaged her and said, "Hey, I've got your kidney here." She said to me, "Listen, kid, I saved your dad. I'm going to save you too." How cool is that?
Wow.
She was eventually cleared to donate. The two women met for the first time for the week before the procedure, and the transplant took place in December. It was planned, it was successful, and it all worked out.
That is so incredibly amazing.
The photos here are all smiles. It was amazing. I felt like I was alive again. The difference is just unbelievable. Christy gave me my life back.
Wow.
She said, "I'm glad to have her in my heart. I'm glad if somebody had a kidney, she's the one, or if somebody needed a kidney, I'm glad she's the one that got it." So how cool is that?
That is just the coolest. That almost gives you goosebumps.
It does. I love that story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.